different from what some of the other market participants do today, like Datadog or SignalFX or others. What we want is a very rich experience. So the mentality for a user that we want when they're coming into the metrics explorer is, I'm coming in here to graph or see what the metric looks like. That's the starting point, but that's not the end point. The end point is I would like to create a monitor on top of this metric. And that monitor should be complex enough. I can create a simple monitor, for example, just say where the CPU load or the CPU percentage usage is X. That could be a monitor, but it could also be a relative monitor where I might say the CPU usage for my web server should not be more than one standard deviation or 10% more than my entire web server farm. So you should be able to even create a complex monitor from this metric screen itself. So that's the basic idea. I have just on paper the anchor point of graph and what we want to do. Give me 1 second. Maybe I just bring and hold it up against the screen.
Is it yours?
It's the office.
Cool.
So let me see. So that's the screen. But in essence, if you think about this is a paper, right? I mean, this is, by the way, like a 10th iteration. But we went through multiple iterations and different things to look at. But this, in essence, think about it as a tablet, and then you have this graph, and then on it, underneath, there is a window or a timeline across which you can see the full history available, and then there is a time window that you can expand or contract using the gestures. And then on the top, there is a section from where you can see what metric is being seen, and what is the host, whether it's a single host or a group of hosts. That's easily available to you. You can create a monitor right from there. And if you think about the interaction that we want is I can flip. I mean, if you think about it, this side is the view, and this side is the configuration. I mean, if I can imagine the paper going like this, right? If you think about it. So on this side, I'm showing you the graph and everything, and I can play with it, and I can do overlays and everything, or I would see overlays and everything. But on this side is where I would be configuring all of that, whether I want to search a metric for a particular host or search all the hosts or start by host and show me all the metrics for that host, or do all the overlays, the transforms, the statistics and all that. So that, and then I can do, I can basically scroll up and it will go through all the hosts, or I can scroll this way and it can go through all the metrics. So think about there's two dimensions in our world, metrics and hosts. So I can go, scroll up and scroll down with, and so that's the core structure of how we are organizing the metrics screen. Make sense, Vlad, Evgeny, Ivan, Denis?
Yeah, I guess. By the way, can you hear me live?
There is some. Yeah, I can hear you. There is some disturbance. There used to be before, but now it's fine.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, it makes sense. But I think we will have some questions about it.
I'm sure there will be tons of questions. I mean, and of course, some of this stuff we will probably do one or, go ahead, and Dennis.
Yeah, you said user scrolls vertically and it switches hosts, but I'm not sure that I got this idea how it will work.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So if you think about it, let's say system.load.1, right? If there is one metric, system.load, and then at 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. So that could be emitted over 4 hosts. I could just say, I want to see the system.load metric, and it says, yeah, you got 4 hosts. Fine. Plot the graph for me. So then it would put in 1, 2, 3, 4, like four graphs. So I'm saying plot it over individually each host. Don't collect them and average it out. There are 2 ways to think about it when you have more than one host. Either you put all of them into one group and then say, give me the average system load across these four group of hosts.
Okay.
Or you say, give me 4 different charts. If I go this way, I will see host 1, host 2, host 3, host 4.
Yeah. Okay, got it. So, I was concerned that I thought it will be easier. It will be more convenient to see all 4 hosts on one graph. I mean, 4 lines, just to see how they compare. Because maybe 3 hosts has low value and 4th has higher, and you can't compare them if they separated.
Yeah, I think, give me 1 second.
Oh, I think it can be just some kind of option to put them on one chart or put them on separate charts.
Yes.
Okay.
Where is my... Like this, it gives me these 3. So if I just remove the anomalies, it gives me all this at the same time. Right? That's what you mean. Yeah. I mean, we can have an option which says, yeah, exactly. We can have an option. You are right. We can have an option which says, give me all the hosts on a single graph, but individually plotted. Give me different plots, or aggregate this, aggregate the value for each of these hosts and give me an average of it.
Yeah.
So there are multiple options. Yeah. There are multiple options, right, that we can do. You're right. So that would be so in the screen where you select, saying, give me a metric, and it says, here's the list of, if you have 3 or 4 or 5 hosts, it is fine. If you have 200 hosts, for example, then you might not want to see all of them on the same chart, right? You probably want to see an aggregate usage, or what you want to do is you want to say, give me the ones which are like different from most of them. So let's say out of the 200 hosts, 2 have the highest load of CPU. Point those out to me and bring those up to me. So those are the things that you want to. Those are the kinds of things you want to do. That's where some of the second part. There is what I call transforms. Oh, I brought only 1 page. Okay, one more time. Let's do it one more time.
Yeah. No.
Alrighty. This gives you many different options, Can you see it, by the way, properly? Okay, no.
I can see it, but I can't read because of quality of picture. Is it possible to send us photos
I will.
of screens?
Yes, I will. But I just wanted to show you that there are different classes, of what we call overlays and things like that. So you can do statistical functions, the interesting part that you might want to see is, say, show me the P90 and P10, that's percentile. Show me those for these hosts or bunch of hosts. Show me averages, things like that. Or you want to say, show me outliers and anomalies and forecasts. Oh, that reminds me. Remind me of one more. We got a feedback also about it. But then there are also what you call the family. Family means that's what exactly which we were discussing, which is how does this host look relative to rest of the web servers? And it might show that the rest of the web servers average is X percentage of CPU utilization, but this host is too high. That's a host-based view. That's not searching for crazy hosts or runaway hosts, but that is saying benchmarking your host to the host class or host group, things like that. Then there are alerts, you overlay alert stuff like that. So I sent an email out on the metrics doc about all the things that you can do from the metrics screen, and then with this, we'll be implementing all this functionality across this metric screen. So I'll send this out, but now we are getting into that coding part, so to speak, and we need to start building some screens, and we'll have to iterate and play with it because I think Vlad pointed out saying we'll probably need a little more definition and it might not be clear. There'll be examples. So we will need to tweak it or tune it a little bit, but the basic concept is now finalized, saying we anchor around the most visual aspect and we show or use the most realistic around the graph or the plot, and provide support for all the gestures and stuff like that. So as far as, so then I'm now switching gears into, I just wanted to give you update on that because of the meeting earlier today, as I mentioned. I talked to Willie about building and deploying stuff. Willie is still in the process of setting up the CD pipeline and everything. It's not done. It will take some time. So what we can do in the interim is let's start building the code ourselves. Let's just build it manually or build it ourselves. And instead of having a deployment pipeline, we will just deploy it ourselves onto the EC2 machine. And we can start with this screen. I'll send a photograph at least so that today with the document that I sent you and this rough drawing, scribbly notes or scribbly drawings, you can start at least getting the idea about what we are trying to do, and we'll refine it over the next few days. But the basic essence is there, and we can start working on the code. Maybe we can start dividing up on the work on the sprint, etc. Saying who will do what parts of code, etc. Because it will have multiple elements. There's a chart, then there's a config screen, and then there's metric and a bunch of other time stuff. So we need to build that. We got feedback that the screenshots that we took were not complete. So, like for example, in so if you go into Datadog and we say dashboard metric view, this does not have, how do I expand it? Maybe a little bit, but this does not have all the layer, all the transforms, etc. We did not fill those out. And I was asked that question saying, where is all the stuff? I thought maybe it might be already covered into our other part. But within this also, 2A, where is it 2A? Monitor status. It was, expanded 1A, not 2A, 1A, expanded time series. But even this one did not show really. So what the way we should be, or we should have been taking the screens is, you see this screen on the screen right now? This is for multiple, more than one metric. And we do basic anomalies. And this is a screenshot we capture. Because what it does is, right here, it shows me all the metrics and the anomalies right here. Right? I mean, if I'm moving around, it will show me all the anomalies, whichever comes into the play. Or if I do just a single one, okay, oh, all of them are gone. Why is it not showing me? Datadog just plays weird at times. But I took some screenshots of those. But this is one screenshot for single anomaly. Basic anomaly for a single metric, and it clearly shows, this is the line for a standard. This is until where if a metric falls in under the shaded area, it's not an anomaly, and then all this becomes anomaly. And then there is basic anomaly for as you can see, all the orange ones are the anomalies. So this blue line becomes orange. This blue line becomes orange because it is part of the anomaly. This yellow line became also anomaly because it is orange color. On the same graph, it is showing me anomalies for different metrics, just as it shows me for a single metric. We need to capture and be thorough about all of those when we capture the screenshot. Like this alone is not good enough. Neither is what I had. I just put in as an example, but this is, we didn't add any screens to this. We should have added and filled out for all the stuff that comes in from Datadog. Whether it's a basic anomaly or seasonal. Seasonal, most probably it will give us not enough data because there is really not enough data, but we should capture it. Whether it's linear forecasting for more than one. Like we should capture all these screens. How does it show it? That needs to be filled out. So anyway, the reason why I'm bringing this up is I got the feedback that this is not, we need to do a little bit more than what we have done. We need to fill out all different screenshots and all different things. So let's get that thing complete. Let's be thorough and complete on that exercise also, in addition to getting started on the screen work. Make sense?
Yeah, you said this about Datadog, but what about
signal effects and unfortunately what ended up happening is that people started reviewing, the team over here started reviewing, and the first thing they picked was Datadog. In the first itself, they saw that it was not complete, and they said, but how does this anomaly look, or how does this transform look? and it's like, oh shit, it's not there. Okay, maybe it is in there. Oh shit, it's not there. And they said, okay, fine. Why don't you just complete it and then we will come back. Tell us when you are complete. So they did not even get to signal effects and all this. They just stopped saying it's not complete. We'll do it when the work is complete. So I'll have to spend some time, but let's identify one, each one of us should take up just maybe one and say, I'm going to take the entire thing around metrics and monitors completely, all different screenshots, every different possibilities, point out things, etc. Highlight as much as possible. Each one of us should just take an ownership of that and make sure that it is complete, and maybe we can review it. Tell me when it is done. Do we need 2 days or 1 day to get that done?
Okay. Well, let us discuss it, and we'll ping you in Discord if you need 1 more day for that for it. But hopefully,
let me know how much time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know how much time, and then I will set the right expectation over here as to when we will be done. Because once you are done, I will also have to take a look at it. I did not take a look at it this time, and so suddenly the question was asked, and I'm like, and I don't want to be thinking again. So let me know, and I will set the right expectation over here. In the meantime, I will also go ahead, and I'm thinking right now, because it's, what time is it? It will be late. I'll do one thing. I'll just send you at least, I'll take a photo and upload it to our shared drive for my, by the way, save these guys. This is Leonardo da Vinci's paintings. This is the same level of, scribble and art that you are going to see. That's I'm going to upload the rough drawings that I have, or whatever the concept, scribbles that I have. So we can start planning on some stuff, and I'll add to it tomorrow also on it more so. But you get an idea. Study the doc, understand what it is. Hopefully, now that you have at least played with signal effects and Datadog and everything, you are also thinking about the things that we are doing. So just to give you an example, if you look at Datadog, here's a simple thing. Maybe I'll share my screen. If you think about Datadog, I cannot get to this screen from the Metrics Explorer. If I go into metrics, and I look at CPU, anything, it doesn't matter. If I just look at this, from here, I cannot do a transform. If I want to see anomalies, there is no way for me to look at it. Have you guys seen any way to get an anomaly laid out over here?
No.
On this graph? Vlad, you did the Datadog, right?
No, actually, I did signal effects.
Ivan did.
Who did Datadog?
I am.
Ivan. So Ivan, do you know if you can overlay an anomaly transform on here from this screen?
Could you check an options on left bar? There is an options drop down. It's below this. Yeah.
No, that's just the titles and number of graphs.
From this screen, I think we can't transform it.
How? From where can you add a transform to it? You are saying you can or you cannot?
I think we cannot.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. But that's the thing, right? I mean, if I go here, I go to system metrics, damn slow. And if I go to system load, now the same system.load.1, I can do a freaking anomaly here. You see the problem that I should be able to do this stuff right in that metric explorer. Why am I not able to do it? There are things like this which to me is like, why are you making me work so hard and think through this stuff? It should be just available, It's like I should be able to do all this stuff. So there are things like this that we want to bring into our application and make it very easy, because that's how people use it. It's like, what I want to do is I want to look at that system load, I want to graph it and say, can you just point out where the anomalies are, and then if there are anomalies over there, I say, we need to start tracking those. Create a monitor. As soon as an anomaly pops up on this, page me or alert me, right? Or I might already have a monitor. I might already have a monitor, so I might say, show me the alerts which were raised. And if those anomalies don't raise an alert, I have not set the right threshold, I'm not tracking the right thing, because I'm not getting alerted, then there is something off, even though I have a monitor. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing that's the thing that users really want to use, rather than 20,000 features which don't really get me to do it. So we're trying to model that. So as you are thinking about, read the document that we have. I'll send you the notes. And as you are thinking about it, I want you to be in that mindset. How can I make it easy for this use case or that use case? I'll write down the use cases, because all the things that I'm talking right now are really the use cases that we want to, have it. Classic startup fashion, I haven't documented everything. If I do everything there, we'll start the project next summer. So, and we don't have that time. So I'll in real time, you will keep on getting the information. And our next job now is to finish the Datadog and SignalFX and all the SolarWinds and all the screenshots to decent enough level of completion, so to speak, right? It should be comprehensive. It should have everything. Make it complete and start coding. And we need to start playing with metric screen. We will iterate a little bit on it as we build the code out. We'll see whether it makes sense or not, whether the user interaction is natural or not. And we will keep on tweaking it a little bit. And then at some point, of course, we will get the professional designers involved, and they can do the visual design. We do want a light and a dark theme that a user can switch between. You guys have seen the SignalFX thing, right? That's a good one, by the way. I'll show you. If you, Lad will know because he did SignalFX. But this is the thing. So this is SignalFX, right? And this is right now in a dark thing. But I can go, so this is a light thing. And I can see the same thing in a dark thing. This is how it looks in dark thing. This is the same thing that it looks in light thing.
Well, I can see that they only changes colors for dark font, and all other colors like greens, blue one, etc. They don't change when you switch in color theme. And it will require us to find colors which good for on white background and on black background at the same time.
Yeah, so I think for now we can just copy some colors of SignalFX for now, right? Go with that. I look, by the way, high charts, it gives you dark and light theme. it gives you the option. I mean, I don't know if you have played with it, but I have played with it. So in high charts, you can get light and dark theme out of the box. But for the rest of the screen, right, there are two parts to it, the chart itself, but then the rest of the screen also. For now, just take the colors. We can just, munch off of Signal FX and see the colors that work in light and dark theme, and then they use those. When we get the visual designers involved, they can tell us the colors. So I would say right now, don't focus too much on the color. Just feel from Signal FX or use high charts, whatever it is, and we move with that.
Yeah. And one more comment about document you sent. There is a section, full list of information available for metric screen and shoreline, and graph has a time window, and it has preset values: 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 day, 1 month. And I worked a lot with Grafana, and I think it has with Kibana, and I think it has the best time window selector. I can show you.
Okay. Yeah, please do. Let's. I would like to see it right now. I mean, maybe all of us can see.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think so. You see it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it has two options. I mean, three options. It's now, relative time from now, and absolute time. So you can. It's very useful.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis, 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah. Sure.
Something.
Well, I can send you a screenshot separately if you.
That's fine. But my screen just went dark.
Okay.
I was looking at. Let me try this. Okay, something happened. All right, now I can see it again.
And you can see it. So it can bring you start and end date. You can choose relative or absolute, and the most convenient is this drop down, which has predefined commonly used or my recent ranges. So it's easier to choose time range I want, and it helps a lot. Just when I investigate some recent problems, I choose last hour. If it took a lot of time, I just easily switch it. It was somewhere it was 6 hours, but I think it got last 3 hours I have recently used. So it's easier to switch, and if you want to specify exact time, date and time, you can do it also. So I think it's the most rich and most convenient element I saw in all systems.
Interesting. Yeah. What does the auto do? The auto drop down, just above the chart.
Yeah.
Not that one. The one which says auto.
Yeah.
Underneath that one. Yeah. Not that one. Not in the top bar, but just above the blue, the green ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
It's granularity, I think. It's how it groups.
I see. Okay, it's mainly. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so...
scale to minute.
Yeah, and auto just automatically choose based on interval you set. So, for example, if you set a couple of days, it will here I think it's 5 minutes interval, and for when I set 7 days, it choose 3 hours interval.
That auto resolution is what we want also. Yeah, that makes sense. Because if someone is looking at a very big time scale, 1 minute will not make sense, or 1 second will not make sense. So auto adjusting, that makes sense.
Yeah, well, anyway, yeah, sure.
We installed Prometheus and Grafana. Did we install Prometheus and Grafana, or even Kibana too?
No, only Prometheus and Grafana, because Kibana, Kibana is, I'm not sure if it has other purposes, but we use it only to search. It's like user interface for Elasticsearch, where we store our logs.
Yes, it's part of the classic ELK stack.
Yeah. I mean, if we want to see how Kibana works, we need also set up Elastic and put some data into it.
Yeah, no, I was just curious. I don't think, but Kibana, if you can capture this entire thing, maybe create a video out of it, so it is much easier to see the interaction. If you can just capture that video and upload, that will be good.
I can do it. I see. I can capture on the part where there no sensitive information. So just see, show how it can be interacted with. Okay. Well, I think so. For now, we for today we continue with screenshots of system, making sure that everything is done. If we need one more day, we let you know by the end of our day, and also we started to think about our boilerplate project. We reviewed it, made some changes. So I think tomorrow I think we will be ready to push it to repository in GitHub and start working on building screens.
Yeah, we can start building on the screen. I'll also continue working on those, so there'll be some improvements or refinement. I will definitely send you this privilege stuff today. And we should start planning on terms of implementing this high charts. I'll work on getting the license for everything. Is there a trial version in high charts? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think. Ivan, do you remember?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, Ivan? Is there a trial version for high chart?
No, there are no trial versions. We can use it free for non-commercial projects. So actually, we can use it and then we can buy it.
Yeah. I mean, so in essence, we are not going to go live with this. It's just playing with it, so we should be able to use it.
Yeah, I know.
So let's just get started on that. We can play with it and see, and then we can buy the license. So once we play with it a little bit. So okay, all right. So then, great, awesome. That means we are not blocked on the licensing part of it. That's good. Okay.
And actually tomorrow my first day of first day of my vacation. So as I see, there is no
Stop
block.
smiling, Dennis. Stop smiling. He's so happy. He can be like, tomorrow is my vacation, and there's a big smile as he's talking. He's saying that.
And I'm happy because it's always hard to go to vacation because a lot of things blocks on me, and for now I see that no such things. So I think team can go for now without me, and in 2 weeks I will be more involved in project. I'll accept that it will be 50% from December, and I know that we have some guys in Aspirity who has completed projects, so maybe we will be able to talk about extending the team if it's needed.
No, that we going to talk about it in December. And by that time, hopefully, I mean, the first set of, this metric and the next one is also a couple of other complicated ones. We want to, there are certain things which are easier, and there are certain things which have a lot more ambiguity in terms of how we want to anchor the actual user experience. Ticketing is another one where we want to discuss where exactly, what exactly we want to do, and how exactly. So we will have a good number of screens, soon to work with. But once you are gone, that's fine. I can work with the team, and we can, maybe I'll nominate Vlad to be the taskmaster, so to speak, and maybe we can start, creating the chunk of work. I mean, I know this is just one screen, but there are lots of interactions and lots of adjoining screen. Like there's a config screen, and then there is a main graph, and then there is other, interaction stuff like that. So we can probably between Evgeny, Ivan, Vlad, we can start creating chunks of work that each one can tackle, and I'll take help of Vlad and I'll lean on to Vlad to figure out who does what and how, depending on the expertise, whether Ivan is comfortable doing something or Evgeny is comfortable doing something. And if you don't come back from vacation, we will get Anna lined up also to start coding.
Okay, so guys, do you have other questions?
I have a question. Previously you said that our priority for screenshots is metrics and monitoring. Yeah? And is it correct that now we should also make screenshots for dashboards? Because at the beginning you shown us a screenshot from the dashboard, and you said that it is not complete. And does it mean that we need also do all the screenshot for dashboards for SolarWinds and our systems too?
Oh, you mean to say for signal effects and Datadogs and those guys?
I mean that, for example, when I did screenshots for SolarWinds, I did not screenshots for the dashboards, because previously you said that the metrics and the monitors are main priority. But do you need them now?
No. Right now, we just want all the experience around metrics and monitors. The reason why Datadog came up is because from a dashboard in Datadog, there is a whole metric experience. So, it's like, I don't know, it's a weird thing. It's like you have Metric Explorer and there is a whole metric part, but also from underneath dashboard, there is a whole metric, there's a whole metric experience, which is why we looked at that, or we discussed that right now. Our priority remains the same. We want a complete set of experience around metrics and monitor only for now.
Mhm.
Dashboards are coming, but not right now. Dashboards are coming, but when we get on to the dashboard section, that's number 3 on the priority list for us. First is metrics and monitor. Second is ticketing and alarm. Third is my world on fire, and we'll talk about what that means. Then we'll get into dashboards. So.
And as I understand, in this case, if we have some functionality in dashboards that is connected to metrics, for example, that if there is some additional functionality in dashboards what doesn't exist in the metrics view, in this case we should make screenshots for this. Yes?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yes, you got it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I understand.
Any
Okay.
other questions?
Yeah, I think that's all from our side.
All right. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. All right. Let me know how we progress. So let me know when to set the expectation on this side, and I will send this couple of pages in few minutes.
Great.
I'll probably tomorrow I'll work on providing a little more definition and more details around the experience. What I sent you in the Word doc is just an encapsulation of what we are thinking about the metrics functionality will do. Next is how it will do it and what we expect. So that I will send it to you also.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well,
Thanks, guys.
yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.